Hello and welcome to DFS Coach Talk. I am Joe Sarvati, affectionately known as Coach, and I am with Andrew Hansen, my KBO partner here, of putting our minds together to give out some big KBO winning lineups and player pools. So how are you doing today, Andrew?
I'm doing well, Coach. I'm excited for another day in the KBO, and you had a great night last night. Tell everybody about your lineup.
It was a top 3% or whatever, 2%. I don't know. It was way up there. I just really was fortunate because my two pitchers both came through, and Brooks was very underowned, and I thought he would be, and that really was a big help. And then some big hits, some homers came across, so it was great, man. It's again, building that bankroll and just continuing to go. So it's good stuff. And you were very helpful in helping me make my final decision on a few of those guys. So that was great too. So shout out to you as well.
Yeah, well, we had the other pitcher besides Brooks in your winning lineup was the pitcher for LG, Chan-Hyun Young, who
Yep.
that was our big takeaway yesterday in the podcast was how underpriced he was on DraftKings.
Yeah.
And he really paid off for our lineups. So that was great. But for me, my second pitcher, I used a lot of Jokic. I went into all the reasons why on the podcast yesterday. But man, when I watched the tape of the game this morning, I just couldn't believe what happened. So I got to describe it for the folks who didn't see it. So
Yeah.
I think it was the third inning. Lotte was scoreless at that point. First and second, one out, two strikes on the batter. Okay. Throws a pitch. The guy swings and misses. So for the second out of the inning. But
Yeah.
by the end of the play, even though it was 0-0, even though it was a strikeout, by the end of the play, Kiwoom was trailing 2-0.
Oh no.
So
they threw it away.
It was a double steal. Okay, and Dong-Hwan Park threw down to second. Both the shortstop and the second baseman, H. Kim and H. Kim, they both went towards the bag and then left. So it was a miscommunication. And get this, Dong-Hwan Park's throw down to second hit the bag right on top of the bag ahead of the runner. So if anybody had been there, they would have just had to catch the ball and apply the tag. And that would have been the end of the inning. But instead, Jokic is behind 2-0. Then he's playing uphill, and then, a couple innings later, it happened again. It was a wild pitch, and the guy scored from second base on a wild pitch.
Really? Well, they have massive foul territories. It's incredible.
So it was just one of those nights for Jokic. He pitched very solid. He only had one strikeout, but just unfortunate that those 3 runs scored like that. So
that messes with your head for sure, no doubt about it. But not a good one for that guy, but something to keep him in mind for next time out. Although that was my concern with the Joker is his strikeout ratios seems to be going down. So and that's such a huge part. I mean, that's that got me in with Brooks with 8 strikeouts. I mean, when you get 8. It's pretty easy to score the points you need to get it done. So, yeah, it was a fun night. I want to keep the momentum going, stay hot, and there's so many values here. And I know we're all excited for the NBA. By the way, it's 43 days from today, so I'm just going nuts. And I listened to some other podcasts today just talking about the whole setup there in Orlando and how it's all going to work. It's going to be so cool. I can't wait to see it in all the games being played. But, I'm ecstatic that we've switched the format on these podcasts because now that we're doing live KBO basically every day and PGA, it feels like we're back in rhythm. I got the juices flowing again. Like, okay, we're not doing a podcast for games that are going to be played in a couple of months. We're trying to break the bank tonight and take some stuff down. And as you know, we were talking a little bit beforehand, there's still some very good value guys that DraftKings and or FanDuel have not adjusted the price on. And you have to just keep taking advantage of that. And, again, the factor of I was looking as I was moving up in some of those tournaments last night, there are a few people that took a couple zeros, even though there weren't that many scratches or anything. It's just, people are making that lineup like at 10 o'clock at night and just letting it go. And man, I'll take that all day long. It's just a big help. So I'm pretty pumped. We just got to keep this going. And who the heck needs to wait to build a big bankroll for NBA? Let's do it in KBO and PGA,
The time is now. And yeah, we're doing 6 days a week now with the KBO podcasts.
Yeah.
We just updated our website to reflect that. So 6 days a week on KBO, 2 days a week on PGA. And on every single slate, we're in Discord with our members, giving them lineups on FanDuel, player pools on DraftKings, updating them on the late scratches, pivots, all that stuff. So like you said, this is the time is now. Let's make some money in KBO. Let's keep it rolling.
And I guarantee there's some listeners saying, Andrew, 6 and 2 is 8 days. There's only 7 days in a week. Well, that's because we're doing doubleheader podcasts on Wednesdays and Fridays. So Monday through Saturday, every day that we can provide KBO, we're doing it. And we're in 30 minutes live before lock, regardless of what time it is. And then the 2 PGA, again, we're doing Wednesdays and Fridays. Wednesday for the whole tournament players, and then the weekend players on Friday. So we're fired up, man. We're getting it done. So today is June 16th. It is Tuesday, and we have a 5-game slate in KBO tonight, all playing at 5:30 a.m. Eastern, and clear weather. So the two things that make me the happiest when I'm building this each evening is when they all play at the same time. That's a big help. And when the weather's good. So we have those two things going for us tonight. And as you know, I think I sent you a text at like 3:30 saying, I love this slate. Let's get it going. So I'm definitely fired up for this slate tonight. So, all right, we are going, before we start, let's thank our two sponsors for making this show possible. And that's MyBookie. Go to mybookie.ag for all your sports wagering and casino action, and an exclusive offer for Coach Talk members where you get 50% sign-up bonus up to 1,000 clams, and you get a $25 free play just for joining as a member of DFS Coach Talk. And you have to join through our DFSCoachTalk.com website to get those credits, and it is the promo code Coach Talk. And then TVG, also, we love those guys. That's where the world goes to watch and wager on horse racing. Join TVG at also the DFSCoachTalk.com website, and you get that free $300 bet, risk-free. And that, again, if you make a bet on a horse, $300 to win or whatever you want to do, he loses, TVG gives you the money back. And that's only offered. The $300 is only offered through DFS. It's exclusive. So Coach Talk. So great stuff. We love those guys. Excited to roll with them. As you're watching these podcasts, real important for us, and we'd like to. This is our only ask during these podcasts, which are always free, always in front of the paywall. Is we ask you to take a second and subscribe. If you're watching us on YouTube, put that little alarm button so it it tells you right when we're going to go live every day or when it's posted, and subscribe, rate, and review for all of those listening to us through all of our podcast outlets with Spotify and on and on. We're on all of them. So that would be wonderful if you could do that. We'd really appreciate it. So first game of the night, and we're going to do similar to what we did in basketball. Slate adjustment is, rather than me reading all the lines prior to, I'm going to check the mybookie.com mybookie.ag lines right as we go game by game, so that if there is a huge favorite, we can talk a little bit about that pitcher more. And if it's a big or small over under, also that's going to come into play. Because, when you get older like me, you forget when you have to go back. I know Andrew doesn't forget anything. He's got that sharp brain going, but For me, I'm fading slowly, Andrew. All right, first game on the board, KT Wiz at the SK Wyverns. KT's 14-22. SK Wyverns are 12-24. The SK Wyverns are a minus 129 favorite, which is unusual. They're not usually favorite. And they are tied with the largest over-under for the night with a big fat 10.5. So interesting game, and one that I don't know if it's going to be stacked too much by many people, but it's certainly got potential. What do you think?
Yeah, I may just dabble a little bit with this game, but if I do, I'm looking for some power, and certainly in this game, you're going to talk power. You got to start with Mel Rojas, and just pulled up his splits. He's facing a lefty tonight. Against lefties, he's batting .472 this year with 5 homers
That's
in
it.
36 at bats.
Jeez.
Just an incredible home run rate. He's a switch hitter. He dominates righties as well, but he really crushes lefties. So going up against SK's Tai-Hoon Kim with an ERA of almost 5. He's only given up 2 homers this year, but both to righties. So Rojas is probably my favorite hitter in this game. On the other matchup, interesting that KT is trotting out Byung-Wook Jo, who is 22-year-old, and he has one appearance this year with only 2 innings and 25 pitches. So very small sample size, but he's facing an SK team that is struggling, and we don't really go to their bats much. So it's not like he's facing off against Doosan, and we got 3 or 4 guys we want to get in the lineup. But I am looking at Jong Cha a little bit. He's been heating up. He's had hits in 5 of his last 6 games. He's a little bit more expensive because of his name, but I'm looking at him at third base and shortstop for 4,600 on DraftKings.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. For me, I don't trust either pitcher in this game at all, especially the young man that's pitching really for the first time as a starter. I would assume there's a short leash and probably an innings limit with him. So for that reason, I like a couple SK guys, and I don't think I've stacked even a 2-man stack with SK this year, but I like both Jay Cha and Jay Cha. And the amazing part about it is I have 3 Jay Chas in my lineup right now. Isn't that crazy? Yeah. So it's Young Cha, the third baseman from SK, and I mean he's been hitting pretty well. And then you've got the SK outfielder Jay Cha, and he's only 2,700. I thought he was a super value on DraftKings, and I do want a couple pitchers against this guy. I just don't see him pitching well, and I think this game has potential to get some runs, and I think it's going to go overlooked, like I said, at the front end. I really do. 10.5 over under, it's not bad, and I wouldn't blame you for throwing in a KTW guy either. It's just, that's where I'm at right now anyway.
Well, I like your call of Jay Cha, the outfielder. And for those of you out there who haven't been exposed to him much, haven't seen him, he's a lefty. He's kind of a wiry, fast player, but he really battles in his at-bats. He's been batting first and second occasionally, and his average is at 333. Not a power guy, hasn't knocked in any runs. He does have 3 stolen bases, but because he is out at that price, I do like that call, Coach. He's a guy that, hopefully will get on base, maybe steal one, hopefully score. And as you mentioned, with Joe probably having a short leash, then we're going to get into the KT bullpen, which is awful. So hopefully he'll get an extra at bat as well.
Yeah, and they're projected to bat second and third. In the sweet spot of getting some extra at bats. And again, part of it's because of the pitcher, and part of it's because I think they're going to be very low owned. And I love to have some contrarian guys, that are going to get their 5 at bats and take the chances there. But I'm gonna, since you've mentioned your main man Rojas, I want to just take a quick jump to some stats here that, yesterday we talked a little bit about hard hit contact against pitchers. Now I want to flip it and go the hard hit rate, the barrel guys that are doing well in KBO right now. So as usual, I always love to do this to you because I know it drives you nuts, is put you on the spot for a quiz.
Oh, okay.
So I've got the top 15 hard hit rate guys in KBO this season, and I want to see if you can name 5 of them. This is a piece of cake. You're going to win all the money.
Okay. Rojas.
That Rojas doesn't count because
Okay.
I gave that one to you, and he's first.
All right.
He's a 35.9 hard hit rate, number 1 in KBO. He's batting .388.
Okay. Ramos.
Ramos is second. Are you cheating?
No.
Okay. Ramos is second. He's batting a smooth .375, 777 on the slugging percentage, and he is second in the league with a 32.5 hard hit rate.
How about Mr. Fernandez?
You lucky dog, you. He's 15th, last guy on the list, but he made it. He is only batting .404 with a .616 slugging, and he's at 24.8, 15th in the league hard hit rate.
How about Preston Tucker?
Preston Tucker. Buzz.
What?
Yeah.
He's got, 8 home runs?
Yeah.
At least. He's
all or nothing.
All right.
You got 2 more misses before you're stunningly defeated.
How about Jung Ho Lee?
Jung Ho Lee, 14th. How can you be that lucky, dude?
I'm going first down and then 15th back, and I'm going towards the middle.
He is batting .362 with a .594 slugging, and even 25% of the time he is making hard hit contact. So you got 1 more to win with 2 buzzers left.
Sung Bum Na.
Sung Bum No.
What?
That's 2 misses.
He crushes the ball.
No, he does. So this is it. Do or die. Win or lose for Andrew Hansen.
Let's see. How about Dong Won Park?
Bingo. Number 3. You got the top 3 and the bottom 2. How weird is that? Dong Won Park from the Heroes is batting .330 with a .598 slugging, 31.6. So outstanding. I'll go through the rest of them real quick. Jin-Sung Kang from the Dinos. Kunwoo Park from the Bears. Hyun-Soo Kim from the Twins. Guy that I have in my lineup today, Yoon-Sung Che from the Twins. He's been batting 3rd. Dae-Ho Lee from the Giants. How about that? And Ju Hwan Cha from the Bears. Our buddy J-Il-O is made it for the Bears. Hyung-Woo Cha for the Tigers. And Hee-Sing Kim from the Heroes. And then your 2 guys, Jung-Ho Lee and Jose Fernandez. So there you go, man. There's some names for you, guys to keep in mind that are clocking the ball pretty good. So there we go. All right, let's keep firing here. We go to game 2. It is the LG Twins, 23-13 at the Hanwha Eagles, 9-28. And we jump back over to mybookie.ag. And it looks as though we've got, let's see here, we have got only 212, which isn't that bad of a favorite for LG, but it is at Hanwha, so you get plus 156 if you think they're going to get win number 10. And there are 3 teams at 9.5 games at 9.5 over under, and this is one of them. So I am very interested to see what you have to say here because I may like a team here on the hitting side as a hint.
Oh, yes, right. Well, we may have a little bit of a difference of opinion here.
Yes, this is
So,
where we're going to definitely disagree.
so I started out with this matchup as I usually do. Let's use the pitcher against Hanwha. It's really been working for us. But the more and more I look at Changyu Lim for LG, the less and less I'm excited about paying 8,000 for him on DraftKings. His ERA is over 5. He
Yeah.
really has only had one quality start. It was his first start against SK, and he's given up 4 home runs in the last 2 games. He does have a good strikeout rate, 34 strikeouts in 34 and a third, but righties are hitting 337 against him. We're not scared of this Hanwha lineup, but maybe he's just expensive enough where I may fade on him I may fade him in the majority of my lineups. May even get a one-off with one of these righty bats. Righties are hitting 337 against him. Tae-Kyung Kim is that older veteran first baseman that started off really poorly, but he's trending in the right direction. So I may take a look at him, but going to fade that matchup more than I thought I would. And then on the other side, I think you might like these LG bats, but Chad Bell, the lefty, who really has been struggling so far this year, I think this might be a GPP play for a couple lineups because
Wow.
listen to his pitch count. He's gone 60, 78, 84, 92. And his only real decent outing was against LG. His first outing this year, 3 and a third, no runs, only 2 hits. Lefties are only hitting 250 against him. And the LG lefties are really the key to that lineup, and they don't have Ramos. So I may play Bell once or twice, but I also like a couple of those righties. I imagine you do as well. Cha hit a home run against him last year. And then KU, the catcher, we've been using him a lot lately. He's been doing great. So he's going to be in my player pool as well.
Wow. The Chad Bell one shocks me. I would have never thought you would have gone Chad Bell from Hanwha. But and now, I mean, he's 0-2 at 894. I just don't see it. I mean, they're 9 and 28. You'll be super contrarian. That's the way to take down a GPP for sure. But being a cash player, there's just absolutely no way I could take a risk with a guy like that. But I'm going to probably stack about 3 of the LG guys against him. I like that 3-4-5 combo with Y Park, Iche, and Kang Nam Yu, the catcher. I just think that, nice punch. They're pretty cheap. Just a good value stack against a guy that's been struggling. So I'm big on that side. I don't like the LG pitcher either. I agree with you completely there. There are a few guys on Hanwha that I'm considering, but it's just you can't play everybody, and their bats are so inconsistent. The only guy is the guy that you mentioned. He's only 3,400 on DraftKings, and I do have him penciled in as my first baseman. That's the veteran T. Kim. Bat and cleanup more than likely, and like you said, trending in the right direction. And I don't like that pitcher. So, I mean, he may be a good value play for us today. And that's where I stand.
Excellent. Want to hit game 3?
I do. It is the Lotte Giants, 19 and 17, against the Kiwoom Heroes, 20 and 17. And Kiwoom is an even 200 favorite. And this is one of the 2 10.5 over-under games. So this, definitely trends to looking as though it may be a higher scoring game. And I sure hope it is.
Oh, yeah? Interesting. Okay.
What do you think?
Well, I guess I'm interested in the Kiwoom bats here a little bit. But both of these pitchers did well against this opponent earlier this year. I I have some interest in the Kiwoom pitcher, but I also think he's a little bit expensive. The nice thing for him, Juan Cha, is that righties are only hitting 207 against him, and the best Lotte bats are righties at the top of the order. Asap San is the one lefty, so he's a guy that you could play. He's 3,600. I'm not thrilled about that matchup, but I think that's a decent play, but probably not one of my core plays. On the other side, um, yeah, I do have some interest in these lefties, but I have a feeling you have probably even more interest in me. So what's your take on this one?
Well, this is my favorite stack of the night on the Kiwoom side. I just think that it perfect fit for them. Against a pitcher that I just don't think is that good. It's a home game. They're only a half a game ahead of the Giants in the standings. I think they buckle down and they hit this kid pretty good. And I love the middle of that lineup. I have a combination of three-man stack both on FanDuel and DraftKings as of right now, and I'm using Park, Jung-Ho Lee, H. Kim, and both H. Kims a little bit, and but not D. Park. I'm going with the like I mentioned, the LG catcher, but that middle of the lineup, and then the leadoff hitter KCO. He's good. He's been steady every time I use him. He comes through for me. So as of right now, I have him plugged in DraftKings because, his price is fair enough that he can do some damage. So actually, I said that wrong. I have him on FanDuel. He's $11. And, when you start getting down into those numbers, I mean, there's some really great bargains on FanDuel, and I think he's one of them. So a combination of CO, Jung-Ho Lee, Byung-Ho Park, and the Kims, I think all are going to make different parts of my lineup and be my key stack for the night.
Excellent. Yeah, H. Kim, you got to love that value with that hard hit rate, and he's only 2,500. He's been great for us. Another one of those guys. They haven't priced him up yet. Got to play him.
2,500 cleanup hitter, hitting the way he's hitting. It seems like you have to do it. So I'm with you, man. That is a key game for me. I don't like either pitcher in this game either, by the way. Ready to move on?
Yes.
All right, game 4. NC Dinos 26-10. Best record in the league against the Kia Tigers, 20-17. And at mybookie.ag has the Doosan Bears. I'm sorry, wrong game. They have the NC Dinos at a 208 favorite. Kia's a plus 152, and this is one of the 3 9.5 over/under games. So interested to hear your take on this one because I changed directions a few times here, with one constant being one of my top plays of the day.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to clean up one thing on Kiwoom. It does get confusing. I just want to make sure we're clear that on the H. Kims for Kiwoom, one bats 4th, one bats 6th or 7th, and the cheaper one is batting 6th or 7th tonight. So, but we do like them both. So
yes, and H. Kim, Ha Seong Kim is the shortstop, and Hai Sung Kim is second baseman.
Yes,
so
exactly.
Pretty confusing. And yep. I think what happened on that one thing you were talking about at second base, I think they yelled, H. Kim, cover second.
Right.
They both are H. Kim.
I know. It was a real mix-up with communication that was not helpful to Jokic. So, so for the Dinos Kia game, the constant has to be Mike Wright, right?
It is, absolutely. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. He's just dominating everybody. Big guy, 5-1, good strikeout rate, power pitcher. Lefties are hitting under 200 against him, which, that's the type of domination he needs going up against guys like Tucker and Chuck.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I like Mike Wright, and
he's
on
expensive.
the flip, yeah, he is. On the flip side, Minwoo Lee, lefties against him are hitting 282. So I like these lefties for the Dinos tonight. I'm
Yeah.
going to look at the guys at the top of the order, Park, Lee, and Sungbum Na, and I'll get some exposure to that part of the Dinos lineup.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I think that, those top guys at the top of the order for the Dinos are good. They're just expensive. That's the only concern for me when I was stacking. I just couldn't fit those guys in, but I do think they're good plays. Yeah, I mean, I think this is one of those deals where you just have to eat the chalk and just do it. It doesn't make it any easier on DraftKings where Mr. Wright is 10-3. That stings, and he's a big fat 29 smackers on FanDuel. So you have to pay for him, but I think he's going to be in the winning lineups tonight. I think you just have to bite the bullet and do it because I think he's the best pitcher on the card. And, obviously I don't like any of the Kia bats. I would definitely agree with you on the Dinos bats. I just can't afford them with my builds tonight.
Okay. Yeah, Sungbum Na is 61, and then Myung-Gi Lee, who hit second, is 3,200. I haven't played him much because I'm not a huge fan of his swing. Not a power guy, but he's been raking. He's just been getting it done. So I'll mix him into some lineups tonight.
Good thing, man. All right, game 5. Let's wrap this sucker up so we can make the money. We've got the Samsung Lions 18-19. The Doosan Bears are 21-15. And this is the one I tried jumping to before. The biggest favorite on the card tonight is the Doosan Bears minus 243. You get a big fat plus 175 on the Samsung side. Over under in this game is 9.5. You got it, man.
I like Doosan here tonight. It makes me feel good that we're back in the groove here with some attractive Doosan situations. Their pitcher, Chris Flexen, another power pitcher. The problem is he hasn't pitched since June 6th.
Yeah.
He had a hamstring issue, so could be a little rusty. We'll see if he's limited with his pitch count at all. And Samsung, the bats have been trending in the right direction. So not a perfect matchup, but I do like Flexen tonight. He'll be in my player pool. And I really like the Doosan lefties in the middle of the order that we love to play. Our boy Jay Cha, who they won't increase his price. Sometimes they decrease it. He's 2,400. He's been hitting third lately with Jai Il-oh out. And earlier this season, he hit a home run against Daewoo Kim, the Samsung pitcher tonight. Yeah. And right behind him, Fernandez hit one out as well. So I look for those guys to repeat that power performance. Those are my two favorite bats from Doosan tonight. And for a guy who's priced at 5,500, this Samsung pitcher, his numbers are a little bit better than that. His ERA is under 4, and last outing he went 5 innings, only gave up 1 run against Kiwoom. And listen to these batting averages, these splits. Righties are only hitting 216 against this righty, and lefties are only hitting 240 against him, with 3 homers. And
I did not see that. That's a great point. Well, he may be your second guy, a good value guy then.
It's just surprising that all those numbers mix together and you come out with a price of 5,500, but he's facing Doosan. So I don't plan on using him. It's not like one of these cheap righties that I think Doosan's going to score 12 against.
Right.
But I'm certainly going to play Cha and Fernandez and roll the dice there.
Yeah, I mean, I like your points there. I didn't stack Doosan at all. I actually only did a one-off, and that's just Jay Cha. I mean, until they price him right, I'm just going to keep playing him. I mean, he's just killing the ball. He's hitting in the middle of the lineup, on a really good team. He's only $11 on FanDuel, and he's, like you said, 2,400 on. No
respect.
No.
Where's the respect?
He's one of those free squares plug and play guys until they adjust it, in my opinion. So that's my one-off for both. I am going to roll the dice with Flexen, though. I like him. I've seen him pitch, and I think he's solid. It is a risk. The guy's coming back from not pitching for 10 days. if his hammy's a little, sore or tight at all, he could be limited. That is a big concern for me. But the upside for me is there. I don't particularly like the Samsung bats. I think that the fact that they have some righties that with Kim Saladino and W. Lee that are key hitters for them against the righty flex, and I think it plays to his favor. And if I can get 6 and 2/3, something like that, with 5 or 6 strikeouts, I think I'll be happy, because he's good. If he's healthy, he's a great play. But pricing, he's a little more than I would like, in the fact that, he has missed some games, but 8,600. So I am biting the bullet a lot with 10-3 and 8,600 on my top 2 pitchers. But, sometimes you have to do it. This is one of those nights where I just couldn't really pull the trigger in cash games on any of these value pitchers. Just didn't feel comfortable enough.
I hear you. And that's why we search for the value hitters, so we can piece it all together.
Absolutely. All right. I think that is it. Those are the 5 games. We've got, a little bit different strategy tonight. Like, you got to adjust as the card calls for. Sometimes, like last night, I was value on my pitching and stack some hitting. And now it's in one night, because of the slate itself, it's flipping the other direction. So there we go, man. A couple things, too. If you want to follow us on Twitter, I am at Joe Sarvadi, JoeSarvadi. He is at Language Olympic. Our man Shane is at DET Sports Shane. That's SHANE. And you could follow all of us at DFS Coach Talk. A lot of stuff being posted there. Also, please, again, rate, review, subscribe, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. We are just blowing that up and getting all kinds of activity that direction. We want to thank our sponsors, mybookie.ag, and the wonderful folks at tvg.com. And also, as we always finish up with our charity of choice, Mamba3on3.org. That is spelled out MAMBAONTHREE. The 3 is spelled out.org. Wonderful cause that was set up by Kobe's family. So we always have them in our thoughts. We're excited that we're going to see basketball in 43 days. And in the interim, we're just going to keep crushing it in KBO and PGA. So that's the plan, man.
That's right.
Sound good to you?
It does. Thank you all out there for listening. Come join us as a member at DFSCoachTalk.com. Pick up one of our memberships, and then you'll be in our Discord. We'll give you these KBO lineups 6 nights a week, the lineup on FanDuel and the player pool on DraftKings.
Absolutely. And remember, if you join now, you can make all this KBO and PGA money without having any time off of your membership. So the membership starts ticking when the NBA tips off, unless baseball shocks the world and comes back before. But don't hold your breath on that one, Mr. Baseball.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us for another podcast of DFS Coach Talk. We look to see you again tomorrow when we have a double header. We've got 2 podcasts tomorrow for the first time ever, PGA and KBO. So we will see you tomorrow when we're going to look to crush it in DFS.